Imagine turning 18, stepping out into the real world, and staring at a bank balance of exactly $0. It's a precarious starting point that forces most people into decades of survival mode. But if you're a teenager right now, you possess two massive assets that most adults would do anything to get back. You have decades of compounding time for your money to grow, and your mandatory living expenses are effectively zero. Our society tells young people to wait until they are legally adults before they even begin to think about money. By doing that, they skip the steepest, most powerful part of the wealth building curve. If you ignore these early years, you spend your 20s and 30s playing financial catch-up. But if you follow a specific sequence of actions now, you can enter adulthood with a massive head start already in motion. At age 13, you can't legally invest in the stock market on your own. You have to convince a parent or guardian to partner with you. They need to open a custodial account in your name. Whether it's a UGMA or UTMA in the United States, or a junior ISA in the UK, this is an investment account controlled by an adult, but built legally for your benefit. This chart shows an S&P 500 index fund's performance, averaging a 12.5% yearly return. By 14, you can accelerate this. Instead of buying things that lose value, ask for cash. These sharp jumps represent cash injections, accelerating your growth curve. This is also the time to get a physical weekend job. Working in retail or manual labor forces you to learn the basic social skills required for any business. More importantly, it gives you a steady stream of capital to stash away. Treat this stash as seed capital, the fuel required to start much larger wealth-generating systems later on. At 16, your strategy shifts. You move from passively stashing cash to actively deploying it into your own skill development. Take the money you've saved and buy high-quality equipment, like a used computer. Skip the expensive online courses and put your capital directly into the tools you need to create work. If you use that computer to master video editing or Photoshop, you develop a tangible skill. When you look for work, an employer doesn't have to train you. You arrive with proof that you can already produce results. At age 17, passing your driving test becomes the priority. Relying on public transport or asking for rides makes you unreliable for clients and employers. A license and a cheap starter car remove the geographical barriers to your work, allowing you to actually deploy those skills in the real world. The moment you turn 18, the legal floodgates open. You need to build your own independent financial infrastructure immediately. First, separate your banking. You need a checking account where your wages flow in for daily expenses, and a high-yield savings account holding 3 to 6 months of living expenses for emergencies. Next, get a credit card. If you use it for daily essentials like gas and pay the balance off completely every single month, you will never pay a cent in interest while building a history of reliability. This builds your credit score, which banks use to decide your future borrowing power. A high score allows you to secure much lower interest rates when you eventually go to buy a house. You also need your own investing account. Open a tax-advantaged option, like a Roth IRA or an ISA, to shelter your future earnings from the government. You can use fractional shares to invest small amounts into major companies with very little risk. At 18, you must also decide on university. Unless you are pursuing a specialized field like medicine or engineering, consider that skilled trades or digital services often provide a faster path to income without the weight of student debt. Learn the difference between strategic debt and consumer debt. A mortgage for a property that increases in value is a leverage tool. Financing a car just to look successful is a drain on your future net worth. With your infrastructure in place, take the software skills you learned at 16 and launch a service-based side hustle. Copywriting, web development, or video editing require almost zero overhead, only your time and expertise. Executing these 7 steps puts you in control of your own financial infrastructure before most people have even opened their first credit card. This entire 5-year roadmap is designed to exploit one specific mathematical law: compound interest. The math is undeniable. If you invest $250 a month starting at age 18, an 8% return reaches $1.5 million by age 65. But if you wait just 10 years and start at 28, That same investment only grows to $679,000. This gap represents over $800,000 lost purely to a lack of time. No amount of extra effort later can easily replace the compounding power of those first 10 years. These numbers show that the actions you take as a teenager determine the trajectory of your entire adulthood. By starting at 13, you ensure that your future is dictated by the capital you've built, rather than a lifelong need to work for survival.